anything from this experience, it's probably that it doesn't hurt to ask because you might end up with your dream apartment. Hey guys, so today is a super exciting video because I'm going to be going apartment shopping and I'm super excited. We are going shopping in Chicago. That sounds so weird, like I'm shopping for an apartment. No, we're gonna be apartment hunting in Chicago because I go to school in Chicago, if you didn't know. Yeah, we have like 7 apartments that we're gonna look at, so I'm super pumped. Yeah, I'll see you guys when I'm in Chicago, and okay, I don't know what else I'm talking about. Okay, bye. It's good. Sweet.
I wonder who invented the English muffin breakfast sandwich. Was it McDonald's with the Egg McMuffin?
I'm not sure. It might be. We should look. So I'm outside the first apartment and we're gonna go see how it is. I'm excited. We just applied for an apartment and we pretty much have it, right? Fingers crossed. Hey guys, so it is about a week later. I don't know why I'm like all over the place, but I am. I have some updates for you about my apartment hunting. Oh, I have to sneeze so bad, but it's like not coming out, you know? Like that feeling. As I mentioned earlier in this video, my roommates and I actually scheduled a bunch of different appointments with different landlords and realtors to see different apartments in Chicago. This might sound like a super planned out thing to you, but there was definitely a twist, which is what I wanted to tell you. Basically, we saw the first apartment and it was okay. Like, it wasn't anything special. It seemed a little bit too big for 3 people, even though it was a 3-bedroom apartment. There was just a ton of space and we did not have enough stuff to fill that up. And then my other roommate, Lily, shout out to Lily, she's the reason why we have this really cool apartment now. She randomly decided to call this random apartment complex that was like a super great location and it's like known to be really nice, and she decided to ask if they had any openings, and it turns out they had an open house that day. What are the odds? Since we had such a tight schedule, we were like really rushing like looking at this apartment, but it was crazy. We walked in and there's a lake view and it was like the perfect size for us, and the guy said that we could apply that day if we wanted to, but we did want to see the other apartments that we had scheduled in case that we like those better. After that, we quickly went to our next appointment. Okay, this is gonna sound bad and I love cats. Cats definitely have a distinct smell, and when it's like a smaller apartment, I feel like that smell is more prominent. So that's what happened in our next appointment. We walked in and there was like a whiff of cat, so we just like could not handle it. So that apartment was unfortunately scratched off the list. It was just a little much, but like the cat was adorable. The guy whose apartment was really nice, so yeah. And then after that, we actually decided to go back to the previous apartment that we loved, like with the lake view, and we applied. And I didn't know this, but if you apply to an apartment, basically they'll hold it over for you until you can like give them other documents. Like you have to show that you can afford this apartment. And usually if you're a student, you have to sign like a bunch of forms that like your parents guarantee that like they'll pay rent like in case you don't or something like that. So it's kind of like a lot to fill out, but it's not terrible. It's just like if you didn't have your parents there at the time, you couldn't do it. So they hold the apartment over for a certain amount of time until you can get those papers in, and if you don't get it in, then you lose the apartment. These kinds of things fall through all the time, so you really got to make sure that you're like on top of all your stuff. So then after we applied, like you saw in like a previous clip, that we were super excited because it's like the apartment for us. It's like our dream apartment for like the situation that we're in. Even though we applied for that apartment, we actually decided to go to the other appointments we had. We had 2 more after this, and the reason why we went, even though we applied for apartment, is again, those kinds of things fall through all the time. So we didn't want to put all of our eggs in one basket. Like in case something happened, we saw other apartments because we didn't want to live in something that we didn't see, and we're all like a pretty good distance from Chicago, so it's not like super easy for us to just like get in our car and go. Like, I mean, we could, but like none of us want to. So this is where it gets kind of crazy. So we really wanted to make sure that we went to these final 2 appointments because the landlord had been super nice to us, like over text, and like really helpful. And actually when we were at one of the properties, a tenant came out and like behind the landlord's back was like, she's crazy. And that was just kind of like, whoa, okay. So we did not want to get mixed up in that, even if it's true or not. Like if a tenant is, oh, my mom's texting me. Oh, I gotta go help her with groceries. I'll be back. Grab a snack or something while I'm gone. groceries are brought in. Whether what the tenant said was true or false, we didn't really want to mess with it, and we definitely knew that her apartment was going to be leased at some point because living in that area is in like super high demand right now because of college going back. So we figured it'd be fine, and we already applied for an apartment that we liked way more, so I think it kind of like worked out in the end. If I learned anything from this experience, it's probably that it doesn't hurt to ask because you might end up with your dream apartment. Apartment hunting is actually a lot more stressful than you thought it would be. I knew it was going to be stressful, but since we had so many appointments, it was very chaotic. It was just like a very long day, but I'm happy it happened and I'm happy that it worked out. Also, don't forget to comment and subscribe, and if you're interested in move-in vlogs or apartment tours, definitely subscribe because I'm going to do a lot of videos like that. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and thanks for watching. Bye.